It's the greatest hour-ish that you will ever have in your entire lives. And we're going to get it started in 20 seconds. Oh, Raj, I'm having technical difficulties already, so this should definitely be a
Oh
fun
my
show.
gosh! I'm on the same thing. I got in about 20 minutes ago, and I tried the desktop, and the app on the desktop is not working again. So, hey, I'm on my laptop again.
It's gonna be one of those shows. I was already on the show this morning where the host had to drop out. What?
Yeah.
Roll Tiding?
No, you're good.
Where the host had to drop out. So that was on that what is that Monday thing or that Wednesday thing that we
Monday thing, yeah.
So Raj has totally renamed.
Yeah.
You know what? You're just gonna have to sit down today.
I gotta admit, while you're going through your issues over there, this may be my favorite Alabama hat.
Really?
Out of all the hats,
why is that?
Because it says Roll Tide on it and it fits well. I don't know. I just.
So you're saying that's the hat I should steal from you when I come to the house?
I'm surprised you don't have this hat because you have more hats than me, and I have to go through mine and get them all together. But this may be my favorite one, and I have the black one that says Roll Tide on the back. I like that one too. But anyway,
okay. Well, we'll see by next show what I can come up with.
Yeah, I know you're gonna get one. Good evening, everybody.
We already got some comments.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing all right today. So
Randy says, "Is this? Oh, is the switch positions this? How's that, Randy?
Yeah, because I'm usually yes. Yeah. Randy is all about the details, man.
Yep. Lay out for good night to you. How are you doing? Big Mike, Roll Tide as always. Mike, the host of a lot of our college football stuff that we did this month, and then upcoming Miami Dolphins roundtable that we got to help getting prepared for the draft.
Yeah.
So, she only means this for me though, not you.
Yeah, that's fine. Love you, Brett.
And then Uncle said hey to Mike, and of course, see, we're all about the fans. Okay. All right.
How have you been doing this past week?
Say what?
How have you been doing this past week?
I mean, since the last show, I'm doing okay. Tired, a little too much work, a little too much real life. I can't wait until we make it big at this and get rich.
Yeah.
And I can start not having to work anymore. So that's what I look forward to. So
the money, obviously the finances will help, but it's all about
this is how she feels about having to watch you, Raj, by the way. Thanks.
Oh wow.
Yep. Do you feel like Randy's popularity at our show surpasses our own popularity? Like, do you feel that just a little bit? Like,
I do, but I think it's pretty cool, man. I think it's pretty cool. It's kind of like I'm fine with it. It's all good.
So Randy, so we gathered all the pieces in one box and made sure every single one of them was thrown away. So I feel kind of like the bad luck from the mirror is gone. So maybe not 100%, but I feel like it's not as bad as what it was. So thank you for asking. Appreciate that. I guess there's some programming notes. We're still looking at our kind of almost summerish series where we're bringing in different teams. Close friends are like obviously Georgia, Michigan, Washington, people that come on. Randy, of course, you're Georgia. Sorry if we're volunteering you already. Outside commitments, we have LSU.
We'll let a fan of that other team over there in Athens come on. You know, it's okay. Randy gets a special pass.
Yeah. LSU, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Texas, and Oregon are the other teams that we've gotten commitments from. People to come on and talk about their seasons past and what's upcoming. So definitely looking forward to that. And maybe adding a couple of. Go ahead.
I'm very curious to see what the Notre Dame fan has to say, especially regarding the new playoff format, because they're not going to benefit from them, even if they have a really, really spectacular season next year. But that's just just curious about that.
Basically, you're saying they can't get that first round bye, is what you're saying.
They really can, yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting going forward for them. I didn't even think about that. So, I think I'm gonna have to fix my mic real quick. So I'm gonna start you off with a question, so you can talk real quick while I fix it.
Awesome.
The question
I love having the spotlight.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know. I might even put you up front there. What can we get one of those? No. The first question, the first thing we're going to start off with, that was kind of the lead into that. What teams we want to see? What team we're to talk about? It was your top 5, right? You ready for your top 5 first?
Actually, I am. I am.
Okay. Your top 5 players that you are looking for, because we've already talked about the things that you're looking for, but very specifically, top 5 players that you are looking forward to seeing or hearing from or finding out something about in the A-Day game.
All right. This is a good question. I love this question. Side note, the 5 players that I'm going to mention, I have not seen. Well, one of them has played for Alabama already. The other 4 are going to be new, which is probably why they're on the list, and we're all eager to see them. And I'm going to give you these 5, but they're not in any particular order from 1 to 5. I'm just giving you 5 names. One being Austin Mack. He's a transfer that came in from Washington. He was recruited by DeBoer to Washington, followed him from Washington, Alabama. 6'6", I think 230, 225, something around the range. Ginormous kid. I'm interested to see if he gets any playing time at all. I'm pretty sure he'll get to throw the ball a little bit on A-Day. But right now, looking at the QB depth chart, it's Milroe, Simpson, Lonergan, I believe, and then it would be Austin Mack. So I would love to see Austin Mack play. Number 2, which
I did want to start with there though, because that's a really good one. How much, and you kind of hinted at there, how much do you think Austin Mack actually plays in this one?
In A-Day or the season?
In A-Day.
A-Day, I think he is going to get a few snaps because I truly believe. I'm not going to give you a number. I think he's going to get a few snaps, but I truly believe that he is going to be the future. Depending on what happens with Ty Simpson, and like I said, I think there is a specific reason why DeBoer wanted him here at Alabama. I think.
And let's be honest, if you really ran off saying Mack has to hit, or you've got to be comfortable.
He's got to be a home run. Yes, I agree. Number 2, and as I don't know if you heard her, I'm just naming 5 people. There's no best or worst, whatever. Number 2 is who Big Mike just mentioned. And keep in mind, Raj did coin the name the Germinator. Jeremy Bernard, the receiver from Washington. I think he's also could be a basically athlete, kick returner, punt returner, receiver, whatever you want to call him. Interested to see if he gets, how many plays he gets called for him. Interested to see what he can do on the field, especially in Tuscaloosa. Number 3 is somebody we saw a lot. We saw some of last year. We saw glimpses of him last year, but I'm hoping he has a breakout year. Justice Haynes. I think last time I looked at the depth chart, I think Jam Miller still might be one because Jam Miller got more snaps last year. But I think Justice Haynes has a breakout year this year. I'm also hoping that we get to see him play a lot this year because I have a feeling that we're going to kind of convert to a pass-happy offense. Right. And with that being said, I don't know how much our running backs will be utilized, and we have to keep them here. I don't want to be underutilized.
I think pass happy, maybe pass more. I don't know about pass happy because we have a great stable of running.
Yeah, we're not going to be throwing it like 45, 50 times a game, but I want to make sure that our running backs are included in the offense because that's how it's been for such a long time. Yeah. Number 4 is the tight end, Caleb Odom. Again, on the depth chart, I think he's a little lower on the depth chart. He's going to be a freshman coming in. I am really, really curious to see how good he plays. He's got some good size on him. He's got some good I'm sorry. And I said tight end. I think he converted to wide receiver last time I checked. So Caleb Odom's number 4. And I haven't said his name, but if you haven't guessed by now, 5 is Ryan Williams. We've said a million things about Ryan Williams. We've all heard about him, like pretty much the number 1 wide receiver in the country. He's supposed to be the future. A lot of people gave his recruiting comparison with the same comparison as how it flowed as far as Nick Saban bringing Julio in. So is he the same as Julio Jones? No, he's not going to be the same as Julio Jones. But impact wise, I think he can have the impact, and it's going to come down to again how many times we can get him the ball and how the offense flows. So Austin Mack, the Germinator, Justin Haynes, Ryan Williams, Caleb Odom.
Right. I'm surprised, and maybe it's because you've already seen a lot from him, but I'm surprised there's no Milroe in there, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah, that's why I stated before I gave out the list. I wanted to give out guys who we really haven't seen too many glimpses of.
Right.
So I know what Milroe can do. It's a good name to bring up though, because I will be interested to see how Milroe factors in into DeBoer's offense. Again, we alluded that it's going to be more pass friendly. So
he's
if
going to
things
have
flew
to
out the
improve.
way,
So.
He's going to have to improve. But if he can improve, and even you and I talked about his ceiling, if he can get closer to his ceiling, I mean, he could be a danger this year.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I think it's just very telling that both Dylan and Ty Simpson both stayed and they brought him back. Like, I think that those guys feel like I've got a shot at this. Now, obviously, with the other transport portal windows from the 15th through the 30th. I at least like guys trying to stay through their spring game. Like, if you stay through your spring game and you don't get any traction, I can't, it's your last chance to get out. So I see that. That's the next time I'm going to be nervous until. And I believe, what is it, March? Did we say what, second weekend in March? We're bringing on Bama Beat. So maybe he'll kind of flesh out.
It's March 10th or the 13th. So, yeah, that would be the second week.
Yeah. So
the 12th, maybe the 12th. I forget.
Yeah, March 12th. Sorry. Yeah. So he's going to help us kind of flesh out the depth chart a little bit. Justice Haynes, I just, when you have like Jam and Justice Haynes in there, and was Richard Young too as well, like I just can't see them eschewing the old running back room. Like, you're just going to have to lean on that a lot, And I feel like I know she didn't mention not a single defensive player, right? So you don't even care what the defense does.
I did, but again, Mike alluded to it. Number one that came out for me was Jalen Mbakwe. Again, I hope I pronounced his last name right. That was just
there you go.
That was just the first one that popped out. Obviously, we got Malachi Moore back. Damani Jackson's going to be back there. Mincy, we got some good 5-stars coming in, but Mbakwe would be the number one. But yeah, I'm more excited for the offense, to be honest.
You sound like me. You sound like me, so that's fine.
There's a lot of question marks. I think there's going to be a lot of question marks surrounding the defense. It's a new DC, new format. But I'm excited on both sides of the ball. Just a little more excited to see the offense, especially during A-Day.
Yeah, and I feel like there's just more questions and more development needed over there. I just feel like the defense will be solid. Maybe not spectacular, but I feel like they'll be solid each time out. So
solid, yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. And of course, being Big Mike, we are going to the A-Day game, so looking forward to that as well. Was that the 13th? April. It's
yes, April 13th.
Yeah, I agree with what the general thoughts though on kind of what you're looking for. It's obvious we want to see how the offense flows. I want to see how I want to truly see how the quarterback competition is going to shape out. But like I said last year, I think Ty Simpson was running a little bit more just to show that he could. So I really feel like that's part of his game. He wants to say, like, look, I'm not as fast as Milroe, not as dynamic, but I can compete in that. Like, I'm not a slouch back. Right. So. Offense and concerned about the defense. I'll be honest, I'm not. I feel like there's still talent on the defense. I feel like the coaching staff right now too is probably better overall defense wise. So I feel like they will get those guys into shape. So I totally understand why you would be. I'm just not as concerned about it as I am offense.
I was about to say, Mike kind of summed up how I was feeling too. I am a little more concerned about the defense. I know that we have the players there, but I need to see it in action, and we'll get to see glimpses in A-Day. But come week one, when it's Western Kentucky, I guess we'll really, really get to see them in action. But I'm a little more concerned. But I think things will ease over the next few months. Hopefully,
we'll see how that goes for sure. So you're not worried about the Wisconsin matchup as far as that goes?
I am. I'm nervous about that game because it is our first. It's going to be our first big road game.
Herb might be going to that one too as well. By the way,
yes, Herb might be going to that one. Herb's going to be doing some traveling this fall.
I looked at the travel budget, and the travel budget was empty though. Do you know anything about that?
I didn't want to bring that up in front of everybody on air, but we'll discuss the travel budget at another time when I'm ready to talk about it.
So that trip to Hawaii you took last week had nothing to do with it?
I'm not going to Disney. What'd you say?
Oh, okay. Thanks, Raj. Thanks. Yeah.
We had to do something else with the travel budget. We had to allocate the travel budget funds to something else. So
yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Tuesday thing already cooking. Yep. Appreciate you.
Yes.
I'll see Raj mistakenly called his show that Monday thing that we do every Monday morning. 8 a.m.
And I thought about
9 Eastern.
I know I apologize again for saying that. I was talking so fast last week, and I just forgot to call it. They called me Mr. U show, and I called it that Monday thing. But now it's just like a hidden joke, so it's funny. It's funny. But shout out to Mr. U. We appreciate it, bro. Yeah.
So I haven't seen it, and obviously you have to forget I haven't delved in. I haven't jumped into the other conferences as much. But to me, Wisconsin is not in that upper echelon of the Big Ten. I think you clearly have from the ones that are already there established. You have to go like Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, possibly I guess Iowa, just because they were there. And your newcomers. Oregon seems to be the leader of the pack.
Oregon.
So to me, like Wisconsin is no better than 4th or 5th without even looking at any rosters or doing anything. You know what I mean? So
and I don't even know if they're ranked in the preseason top 25, but for Alabama, it's just the fact that it's going to be, we got a new coaching staff, new regime, and it's going to be a road game at Wisconsin. So that could play a factor into the competitiveness of that game and what might happen. I think had Saban and his crew been here, we could go into that game saying, okay, we might win 35-14. And again, with going into 2024, it could be 41-10. We have no idea what we're going to see. So we have 2 weeks to prep for that one. And then obviously after Wisconsin, we have a bye. Then we got the big one at home with that other team from Athens.
And I don't know the players. There's a lot of questions out there. This one for Wisconsin at 2, it can't be. That's no nothing that I've seen.
A ranking of 2 in the Big Ten or what? Where is that at?
Yeah, it's not national ranking. For sure.
No.
So, and it can't be. Maybe even I don't know recruiting. It's not recruiting class. It's not.
Definitely not.
Like you said, Big Ten. So, wow, there we go. Wisconsin off in the Big
Ten. Oh goodness, Mike.
That's my boy Mike. So I'm definitely. This was the one I was going to ask. Follow up with that. What other, let's say if you did happen to watch around some spring games, what other ones come to mind as teams you would want to check out in their spring games? And Mr. U said not national recruiting. I just know, Mr. U, it's not their rank. Like, I don't know what number 2 is. Transfer portal? Like, I haven't even heard them get a lot of people for that. So.
No, I haven't seen them like in the top 10 in any real list. So I have no idea where they would be ranked at number 2 for anything. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure.
And while you're thinking about that, I did want to let him give 2 seconds, or not 2. I'm sorry, get in this comment real quick. I didn't see what Stephen A. Smith said, but I mean, I won't say this while our Notre Dame guest is on with us.
Yeah.
But they really are. And one reason, let's be honest, when we saw that preseason ranking and saw they had jumped to number 5, that's what got me interested. But they're surviving on that network, and they do play a decent schedule. I'll give them that, but they're not. When you think about teams that you fear, and when you see Notre Dame across the matchup, you're just not scared of them. So it's just
we're not, we're also basing this off our most recent history with Notre Dame, where the games really haven't been close. I mean, we can think about the 2012 national championship game, and that was 42-10, I believe.
I don't remember a single play from that game.
I don't. I remember Eddie Lacy fucking somebody and then scoring a touchdown, but that game was just never close at all. And then we played him several years afterwards in another bowl game. But
and we played him in the playoffs.
So no disrespect to them, but when we think about us playing Notre Dame, we don't look at it as like this might be a challenge. Right. So we'd have to dive into their 2024 schedule to kind of see where they would land. But I think it's going to be pretty much similar. Without looking, it'd be similar to last year. They're going to lose a few games here and there. Maybe make it into the top 12, or maybe be right on the outskirts.
Right.
I don't know.
And
looking at the
like I said, one of the reasons why we're bringing them on, because the top 5 ranking, and we do kind of want to pick somebody's head that's a little closer into it. What did they think of this last season? What do they think of next season? The top 5 ranking and the playoff chances. So we will definitely let somebody more into the system kind of tell us what they think about that. So, what other spring games, if any, Roger, are you kind of looking at?
If I was extremely bored and I was forced to watch another spring game other than Alabama's, I hate to say this, but I'm going to admit it. I might pay attention to Auburn's simply because they had some receivers recruited there, and I would like to see what they could do on offense, which is going to be little to nothing. I pay attention to the team in Athens. I think they're going to be a threat regardless of what happens when we play them or not. And just next year they're going to be preseason. Yeah.
What's funny? I will not be interested at all in the Georgia one because I already feel like I know what we're getting. Like they're just going to be, they're going to be a tough team and they're going to be number one.
I'm curious as to see how they're going to react without having Brock Bowers there. I don't know who the next tight end is going to be. I don't think he'll be as utilized as much as Bowers because I feel like Bowers was the safety net. But
did you hear about those Brock Bowers to Miami rumors?
No, because they didn't come true.
Yeah, they didn't exist. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah. But I mean, Beck is probably going to be the number one quarterback in the nation next year, as long as he stays healthy. So I think he'll be fine. I guess, you know what, Tennessee, I didn't get to see Nico play in their bowl game against Iowa. So I'd be curious to kind of see how he factors in as far as him throwing the ball. But I mean, it's a spring game. You're going to get so little from a spring game. So
right.
If I had to watch them, if you forced me to, though, I'd pay attention to a few.
That's a good one right there, Colorado. Colorado has a big opportunity here because the Big 12 is going to be wide open next year.
Yeah.
So,
and this is going to be a big year for Deion because, I mean, they beefed up their O-line. That was their main point of focus. They beefed up their O-line, won 4 games last year. So, okay, I'll ask the question right now. How many games, without looking at the schedule, how many games do you think Colorado wins in 2024?
So, I'm going to go beefing up their schedule. And because of how wide open the Big 12 is, and without looking at much, I'm going to say they get to like 7.
I was going to say 6. I
think they're in that we're going to make a bowl game range, but we still have work to do kind of thing.
Right.
I don't know about their depth still, even with building up the line. So, that's my guess without a deep dive. So, and we're not going to break down like the full Big 12, but we'll definitely add Colorado in as one of our teams to kind of look at. So we'll see how we do with the funny thing is our contributors from the Big 12 last year have all moved to the SEC. So now if we want to do a Big 12 breakdown for next year, we're gonna have to find somebody that's actually still over in that conference. So Mike's doubling down on 8 wins. So but he's always going to be Colorado.
A lot of us want to see Coach Prime prevail and be victorious there. But after what we saw last year, it's kind of like, man, I don't know how much hope I have going into 2024. And I just pulled up their schedule briefly. Interesting note, game 2 is they play at Nebraska. Normally this would be like, Colorado might win. But keep in mind, Nebraska signed Dylan Raiola, who was supposed to be like the number 1 quarterback in the country.
I think it's pronounced Ravioli.
So I think that could be an interesting game. Other than that, I mean, they've got North Dakota State, Colorado State, of course, Baylor, UCF. I mean, the UCF game might get interesting. Then they have Kansas State. Kansas State's not a laydown. Cincinnati, Texas Tech, Utah. That could be a heck of a game. So
I've already seen a projection where somebody says Utah wins the Big 12. I forgot they were going there, to be honest.
I forgot too. I completely forgot. And Cam Rising will be back. So
this is
I'm gonna say with Colorado.
8th year of eligibility. Like
I have no idea.
His eligibility
just is rising to the top.
I mean, I should have seen that one coming, but I didn't. So 7 or 6, yeah. I mean, I think we're in that range. I don't think they're winning the Big 12 next year. I just feel like that's a huge leap. But like I said, there is I'm in that range for sure without doing a dive. I mean, the only problem is now I got to look at all the other teams if you're really trying to figure out what Colorado does. Like, because you kind of said Colorado State there, but remember last year that game was a tough one. So
it was a close one. And that's what I'm saying is, like, on paper it looks like Colorado might be the more dominant team, but after the way they played in some of those games last year, you never know.
Yeah, and they definitely ran out of gas towards the end of the year too, as well. So as I said, with depth,
they should have stopped at like a Chevron or something.
Have you taken my role for today? So
sorry.
Yeah, and this is definitely traditionally one of those, right? It's just which one of those is going to be on the upswing first? You know, like you said, with them getting Ravioli at Nebraska, that seems like that might put them on a fast track. So we'll see. This was a funny one. SB Entertainment, nice to have you in there. Thank you for the comment for sure.
SB.
My problem with fantasy football is I'm just terrible at the end season. Like, I enjoy the draft, and I'm horrible at everything
Yes.
afterwards.
Yeah.
So
that I'm 100% the same way. I really, really love the draft, and I was really into it. But then midway through the season, I'm just like, I'm ready for this to be over with. Especially when my team's doing bad. It's just like,
and that's the problem when your team is not doing well. You're like, oh, what do we do?
yeah, you're just like, dude, let this be over with. Because you still have hope going into each game. Maybe this player might not play. Maybe this player gets hurt. But it's like, oh, we stink. And if you don't get got, like whenever you're playing someone and they have Tyreek Hill on the team, it's like, I'm gonna lose this game.
What are you gonna do? Yeah. I will say this, and part of it's my lack of aggression when it comes to there and trading and stuff. I want to get better at fantasy football so I can enjoy it more because I do enjoy the game. I made the mistake this last year of having 3 teams. That'll never happen again because
that's a lot to juggle.
I need 1 team, possibly 2. And that's it. So,
but are you somebody who creates a draft board and gives it all the options? Okay, yeah.
But I am somebody who will like have 7 screens open when the draft is going on, and I will overthink every pick. So
I don't. I just pick whoever and be like, okay, whatever. We'll see what happens.
So what we've made Mike hungry, and Lady Apple's already had spaghetti. So now I want
smiley emoji. Oh,
right.
Interesting.
K-State, I think KC. I guess I just way overlook K-State as far as when I'm thinking about who's going to win the Big 12 next year. I think I need to give them more respect. But I think they beat Colorado. I think
the Big 12 is up in the air this year. I have no idea who's going to win. I picked Oklahoma State a few weeks ago, but I'm not really set on that. So.
I wouldn't be. So I could see Utah, K-State, just kind of off the top of my head too. So I think there's like 7 or 8 different combinations I could throw out right now, and you'd go, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. So that's why I think Randy's the one that posted it. One.
All right, sorry.
Yeah, Miss You, that is me. I don't look at it enough before the draft. Then when the draft happens, I'm spending like the last hour and a half with 20 different things and blah blah blah, and then I overthink every pick. Texas coming to the SEC though, so no longer in the Big 12. So Texas and Oklahoma are out. That's why it is such a wide open race, is up because you have those 2 teams out. And Oklahoma State was in the championship game last year, kind of, but not very impressive at all. So, Raj, before we transition into something, one of our next little ones, I think. Right around the 30-minute mark is always a good time for us to continue our debate series.
Oh gosh!
So
here we go with
the we didn't prep for this one, right? So we're gonna throw out the topic, and I'm gonna let you.
No, this is the thing. You prepped for this. You prepped for this one, and I know what that means.
I didn't prep anything. All right, Raj. This is something we kind of talked about. But we haven't. And by the way, usually I don't look at comments during the draft, but please leave the comments and we'll catch up them after the debate part is over. All right, Raj. The debate this time. Would you rather have your team lose by a last-second field goal, a la Tennessee, or get blown out, a la Clemson, and the game's over essentially by halftime? You can pick your side first because you feel like there's some kind of disadvantage.
I'm going to say get blown out. And I'm going to say this. It might be more embarrassing, especially after the game when you go on social media and everybody's criticizing your team for getting blown out, et cetera. Like we did against Clemson. It was 44-16, whatever.
Right.
But when you're getting blown out, you know earlier on that game is over with. You have more time to prep. You've got more time to play. Your emotions are different. You've accepted the fact that, hey, today's not our day. Let me go ahead and start prepping for my responses on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever the case may be, and I can get ready for that. The game's over. And you can start making other plans like what Herb and I did. You can start helping Mom put up her Christmas decoration. You can do other things.
I will always remember that.
When the game comes down to a last-second field goal, you are on the edge of your toes, angry at your team for playing so bad the whole time, and then you have to take that gut punch at the end. That's just how I feel. It's easier. Emotionally, it's just easier when you get blind.
So,
it sucks, but
you argued it the wrong way already. First off, as Alabama fans especially, you don't want to go on Twitter having your team lost by like 30. Like you just can't survive that.
You can't.
Give me the close victory. Look, I want to know that my team competed, that we were well coached, that the players gave it their all, that they were out there. Yeah, does it hurt more? Yeah. But I can at least say, man, we gave it our all. We earned that respect. We were out there like nobody can say that. You wouldn't lose by like 20 and you're putting up Christmas decorations. Like you can't even say anything about your team anymore. Like what were we, a bunch of
Let me ask you this, sir. If you lose 44-16 or 44-41, you still, I mean, I'm not even asking you, still lost. It's still an L. It doesn't matter.
It's still an L, but some L's are like a butt whooping. It's like if I was in a fist fight and a guy just beat me up and beat me down versus if I was in a fist fight and, you know, we're both going out of a la Rocky 1 and we both are down and he wins, you know, by TKO or something like just on technology, I can at least go home to my girl and be like, I gave it my all. But if you get whooped up, if you get beat down, Raj, like that, your woman ain't giving you no loving. So let me just say, like, I want the loving. Give me the close loss.
I don't want the loving. I just want to watch some TV and Netflix and go to bed. I don't want to do that all the time.
Okay, Raj. Well, if you get beat up, it's Netflix with no chill. Okay.
I don't care. I don't care. I'm fine with that. I want to go to bed. I got kids now. I just want to go to bed. After they go to bed, I want to go to bed. Okay, I'm just joking. Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say now. So
yeah, see,
who's gonna settle the debate?
Yeah,
I mean, I made a very valid point. I made a very valid point.
You would rather have more time to put up Christmas decorations. We got your point. Yeah. All right, we can go into the comments to determine the winner.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's see who.
Wagwan! Hello to the Herb and Raj podcast. Loving you guys, man. Appreciate y'all having me on here as always. You guys doing big things, man. Love to see you guys. Another great debate, man. But Raj, I told you got to bring it, man. You don't bring it, man. I don't know what to tell you. My Herb is just he killing you, man. His points are all great. He's a wordsmith over there, Raj. You got to bring it better, man. That's okay. One more loss is okay, man. We still love you, man. One love, still love you, man. So again, thank you for having me on. Appreciate everybody listening to the Herb and Raj podcast. Mikan.
Well, the independent arbitrator has spoken again. Let's check what the scoreboard is after another lively debate.
This is not fair.
Herb is up 4-0. No.
You know what? The funniest part of this? People are actually commenting like their comments are gonna matter. My debate, it doesn't matter what I say. It does not matter what anybody says. This is ridiculously. This is hilarious. So what was that guy's name? Because I've never met that cousin.
That was Bob. He's named after Bob Marley, but they spelled his name backwards, so it's Bob. It's Bob backwards.
It's a palindrome. Okay, I get it.
See,
that's what bothers me. Is Randy's really, really accurate. I hate it, but it's so funny. I can't wait to see it. So it's so weird.
Oh my God! So the page are making Raj crazy, yo.
All right, that joke was a little better, Mike. Oh my gosh.
Make sure no one knows, but let's just say that's the fourth debate, and Raj is also lost, so you definitely got to get caught up. So yeah, thank you for that. So, of course, I love that. Yeah. Well, obviously, and I was debating the side of the pick, but man, I think I'd still rather be in a dogfight by 3, man. For honestly, man, it's tough. So I will say this though. Go ahead.
No, does it depend on the game? Oh, like for example, if it's a regular season NBA game and you lose 120 to. Okay, are we just strictly talking football?
I'm more talking football and college football because the games matter more. You know, if you lose game, you can lose. Yeah. I mean, what was it? The Heat in their championship series. I mean, I almost want to feel like the last 10 years, you can go back to every NBA champion and find 2 or 3 games where they got blown out, you know, easily. I mean, like 20 plus blowouts, and they don't matter in the long run. So I'm talking more college football on our team.
Yeah.
But having said that, if we were going to lose one game, but see, even then, Roger, you lose a blowout in the regular season, it counts more against you. But I would rather have a blowout in the regular season,
let's be honest, man. The Michigan loss hurt me more than the Clemson loss, and that stayed with me for longer.
Oh yeah,
so
that game's different because I'm not gonna say it was different, but in both games I felt like we were the better team. The Clemson game, it just got away from us, and Trevor Lawrence played immaculately.
It's hard to say that when you get smoked that badly, though.
I know.
That's the problem. So
I thought we were a better team. We had like an undefeated season going. We had the roster, everything, and then all hell just broke loose, and everything went downhill for us. Michigan, I thought we had the better roster, but we just played crappy from the first snap. So,
well, we ran up against a buzzsaw. Their defense was better than our offense, and that's really what it was. All right, I don't care for fantasy football. Randy, not a fantasy football guy, but he's also more of a college guy, I would think, though, than NFL too.
Yeah.
So that's what it's not going to do. So I knew Mr.
I'm not a fan of. Don't some people do like fantasy baseball and like NBA too? That's a big
NBA, baseball, hockey. There's some soccer leagues too. So
I can do all that. Those seasons are just too long. That's a lot to keep up with.
Game balls 1 or 2, you're not good enough. Your team just didn't try. Yeah. That's what I say, Mike. I want to at least know that we competed and we were in there. So
this is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what I said. You were going to win the argument anyway. That's what I'm trying to get through. It does not matter.
College judge on strength of schedule and margin of victory. Oh yeah, no, it definitely. I didn't see where you messed that one up wrong. I totally get what you're saying there, and that's what I was saying. A blowout in the middle of the college season actually hurts you more than a blowout at any other sport.
It does. Can we use Florida State as an example? Like their ACC championship game I guess I'll pose the question to you. Have they beat? Who did they play? Was it Liberty? I forgot who they played in the ACC championship game. Have they won that? Or Louisville?
Did you just say Liberty?
Had they beat Louisville 44-10, would they have made the playoff?
The argument is much better because the offense looks good with the backup the backup quarterback. So I think that was the problem. That was for you to get in over the SEC champ, you really had to show us something. Especially, and the other problem was they're playing Louisville, who's not really highly regarded. I know their ranking went up, but nobody was talking about Louisville or thought they had a chance to win. If they had played like a Clemson, who's more highly regarded, and beat them in that championship game, maybe you get that. So, or plus also your victory against LSU didn't help because it was the beginning of the year and LSU's defense ended up being. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And if you watch the ACC championship game during the last couple of minutes, Jesse Palmer even said, listen, I know they're trying to run the ball out and run the clock out, but I'd be trying to get some style points here. I would try to get at least 2 more touchdowns.
Yeah,
they didn't do that.
If you're going to keep the human element in this, then you have to do stuff like style points, and that's just kind of where it goes. So yeah. All right, let's move on to something that was, I guess, controversial. This could have been another debate point. Court storming, field storming. Depending on the sport. What was it? One of your guys from Duke, Raj, just got hurt this last week. Didn't end up being serious. Then you have Caitlin Clark earlier this year getting run into by a fan. Your general thoughts, I guess, on court storming, field storming, and where do we go from here?
I mean, I've always been okay with court storming or storming the field, whatever you want to call it, as long as the time is right. I know that there's sometimes when a really, really sorry football team wins a game that's really meaningless, and then their fans just storm the field because they're just happy they won a game. This past weekend or whenever
Detroit Mercy, when they've lost like 27 games and they won it, and one guy ran on the court.
that doesn't warrant storming the court. That's just kind of weird. But I don't know. I don't see how you're. I guess the only way you could actually protect your players is by if it's like in the last minute and you're down by like 10 and there's a possibility the court gets stormed, you could call a timeout if you have a timeout and then get your players off the court and put in your backups and your sacrificial lambs.
And let them get stomped.
Yeah. And then you can start escorting your guys out. But I don't know how you prevent this. I mean, you can't – what are you going to do, punish the students? Then you have to go back and watch the film and all these students trying to figure out who all these people are and try to punish them. I just don't see how you can really prevent it. I know that sometimes coaches come out prior to the game and say, hey, we appreciate you guys for coming out, blah, 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 blah. Please don't do this. That's still not going to stop all these crazy college kids.
And to your thing, Raj, they do a lot of I think the ACC doesn't, but the other conferences, they do fine the teams. But come on, man, you know,
You get to take
You
that
can
one of
find
the
the
big
teams,
dogs.
but the
Yeah.
play. I mean, if it's not coming from the students, they're like, okay, well, you're going to find the college. They'll pay that. They got the money.
Right. Well, let's just say
And
Georgia goes to South Carolina and loses in football, and South Carolina storms the field, and they fine them $50,000. You think South Carolina's not willing to pay $50,000 for a Georgia win? Like,
no, they'll pay that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll take it from one of the kids' NIL money. So,
Yeah.
my problem
And
has always been I love the emotion of it, so I don't see where you
Right.
get rid of it. And like to your point, the only problem with yours is the last second, 3-pointer or whatever, or last second touchdown doesn't give you a time to move everybody off. My thing is there needs to be more security for the losing team. There has to be some way where you're like, okay, here's the funnel, here's the guys are getting out, here's where the security is. You got to protect those guys, and I think that's what. And the problem is
if you just lost the game. If you just lost the game, sorry to interrupt you, you're more likely, you're already angry and pissed off. So when you look up and you see hundreds of kids running your way, you might start balling up your fist out of protection, just saying, you know what? Hey, man.
LeGarrette Blunt.
Yes.
LeGarrette Blunt from years ago. And here's the problem. This is like exactly what I agree with you, Mike, that there should be more consequences there. A lot of times these guys will go out and start taunting. And my thing is what is it? What Mike Tyson said, everybody's like cool until they get punched in the mouth. I'm not advocating punch in the mouth, but if you after victory, your first thing is let me go taunt this, 6'3", 230-pound, linebacker, or whatever. Like whatever happens after that is on you. Like there you can't go out taunt him because there's a film, one of the games earlier this year where the guy was filming the guy just talking trash to him the whole way. Whatever happens, man. You can't do that and then just say, oh, the player is the only one held accountable. You're the one on the field first off, right? So any other time during the game, you're getting tackled. So you're taking your chances there. So you're going to create something where the players are going to have to protect themselves, and you're not going to like that situation.
Yes, I agree 1,000%. And who's to say there's not some students in the stands or on the field or in the stands? I'm sorry, targeting players. Do you see what I'm saying? Like.
Right.
They're saying, okay, we're going to start on the field, but I know such and such has a big NIL deal, whatever the case may be. I'm going to make sure I run into him so he hits me, vice versa, and then I try to sue him. You see what I'm saying?
That was an episode of Ballers with The Rock. I think that was the first episode. Some guy shoved him at a club. Yeah, guy shoved the guy at the club, and the guy, the player, like pushed him or hit him or whatever. And the first thing he was, because he got it on camera. So there's just a lot of that. So. Let me see what he said. Clemson said, okay, football, let the teams leave the field. Don't rush down. Everyone can. Yeah. Like I said, I think you're going to have that emotional rush and that want to do it, but you've got to protect the players. And if you don't do that, and it's like, okay, we're going to find you whatever for this. Well, if the player from Duke, and I always feel like I missed his name, if he was seriously hurt with some time, Flip. If Flip was hurt, like, I mean, what are you going to do? What if Caitlin Clark had gotten seriously injured earlier this year and she was out? And that's the face of college basketball right now on the women's side. Like, then, and I feel like they're waiting for a big incident to get serious about.
And you know what? I know they're waiting for a big incident, but it's going to happen. Eventually, this is going to happen, whether it's football, basketball, whatever the case may be. So it's only a matter of time before something happens. But to the initial point, I don't know how you prevent any of this. There's just so many people. If it was 3 or 4 people, you can get security, but security can't stop hundreds of kids jumping out of stands. Keep in mind, these kids are probably filled up on beer, liquor, whatever the case may be. They're looking forward to this anyway. So,
part of that is also like you don't have a heightened security presence because it's an upset, so you're probably not expecting to win anyway. So when it happens, you're like, oh crap, it's like. Middle of the third quarter, when you feel like you have a chance to win, do you start calling up, every bouncer in town to get out there? Like it's almost an anticipation thing. But I don't think every school is willing to, triple their security budget on the off chance that something happens.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. The fines mean nothing. It's like you said, the players the people that are rushing the field are not, the money ain't coming out their pockets. But
no, they don't care. Yep. They're out there on Instagram Live and everything, just taking pictures, video. Hey, we're out here on the field. Okay, cool.
Yep.
They're doing it for the experience.
Yep. But like we both said, I am tired of them punishing the players for it and not the people. If you get in the player's face, like that's on you. And what is it? Chris Rock said, I'm a man, and I know if I'm having an argument with a man bigger than me,
there's a zone I don't go into. I'm
going to stay back. I'm going to yell at him from across the street if he's bigger than me.
Yeah. So plus as little as you are,
I'm all for the players defending themselves if necessary. I didn't hear that. It was a bad joke. Obviously, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. So. We wanted to talk a little college basketball too before we get into the questions of death. But let's throw out the and so the Bucks are still at 2 on the East, and I guess the defense is getting better since they hired Doc Rivers. But I still have as much faith in them. And then I've been listening to Bucks podcast. They don't think they're going to catch the Cavs for 3. So Knicks got to get healthy before they can make any noise. But Boston is just clearly the best team in the East. So. I want to see. So, and that was one of the questions I had for you, Raj. The Western Conference Finals is going to be fun, though. Thunder, Nuggets, Clippers, Wolves. I think the Clippers have been moved to number 1 seed right now too, as well. So, thank you for that. What would it take, Raj, to get you watching NBA regular season again, if anything?
So, for those that don't know, I am a huge LeBron fan. I do try to catch the majority of the Lakers games. I do try to catch the majority of the Lakers games if I can. So are we asking this just like a random fan standpoint or just people who just don't watch the NBA as much or what?
Like you particular, what would get you back watching the regular season? You in particular. The NBA has targeted you first and figure with your fame, you can bring other people.
If I knew that the Lakers were a little better, if their roster was a little different and I knew they would be more competitive as like a top 4 team in the West, I would probably make sure I watch all of their games. Right now, I know
for you,
that
it's personal. It's not about the overall product. For you, it's personal.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine with the overall product right now. I have no issue. It's high scoring, less defense. The rules are different. Officiating is different. I adjusted to it. I'm okay.
You don't play no defense. I like it.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that's just part of life. You have to, adapt to change, or you get left behind. I know there's some people that are kind of stuck in their ways, and they're not happy with the product, and that's their opinion. Okay with that. I'm okay with it. I'm still a big fan of the NBA. Now, when LeBron retires, and I've even told you this, I'm going to have trouble watching some games because we were both huge Jordan fans. We watched it through Jordan. Luckily for me, LeBron came in right after Jordan left, so I kind of started watching LeBron in high school, and I, followed him ever since. When he leaves, I don't know who my next big guy is that I'm going to follow. I mean, we've kind of just followed players when it comes to the NBA since we moved around so much when we were younger. So I don't know who I'm going to latch on to. I kind of like Zion when he was high school, but obviously his NBA years have been interesting to say the least. I don't know.
The diplomatic answer?
Yeah, it might be. So I don't know. But yeah, if the Lakers were better and they're in Western Conference playoff contention, I would watch even more.
Yeah. I don't mind the no defense because I like high scoring, but I don't like, just none at all, I guess. I mean, your better teams, I think you're going to get something from them. But
and then,
I don't know. It's more than just the offense or defense, I guess, that gets me. I just don't. I just can't get into the.
It's just the nature. The nature of the game now is, shoot the 3 ball and score a lot more. That's just the nature of the game, and that changed maybe. When would you think that changed? Maybe around 2010, 2011. It seems that's when things kind of changed.
James Harden and Steph Curry really changed that, and Morey, I guess with his strategy. So that's really what kind of changed that.
Even big guys that are 6'9", 6 to 7 feet tall, you got to be able to shoot the ball. Look at Wemby; he's 19 feet tall, but he can still shoot the 3 ball. That's just the nature of the game. And we talk about this now, but 10 to 20 years from now, guess what? The game's going to evolve in a different way. And if you're a fan, you're going to keep watching. If you're not a fan, you might not watch it as much, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Anthony Davis will never be on my list of players I would follow or watch. And I'm going to speak for Rogers. I don't think so for him either.
Yeah.
He was like people are forgiving him, but his skill set, but he's not a superstar and he's not the guy to carry your team. People need to go watch what happened in New Orleans. And he's not going to be the guy to carry the Lakers after LeBron's gone.
Right.
So,
I mean, we watched
is
Jordan.
Bronny making the league? Go ahead.
Well, I answer that question. Is he going to make the league? Yes. Is he coming? Does he need to come out after his this year? No. I think Bronny needs to go back to college maybe after his 3rd year. 2nd year, we'll see where he is. But keep in mind, USC's having a bad season, and he doesn't even start for a bad USC team.
Yeah.
He's not that aggressive. He's a good point guard. He's got a good jump shot, so that'll help him out as he gets older and once he finally transitions to the NBA. But he's got a lot of things to work on. Personally, I do want to see him get, much more aggressive as far as going to the hoop. He's very, very, very passive. I understand that we know LeBron can be passive at times, but Bronny is very, very passive. He needs to work on that. So I'd say after his junior year, we'll see where he is. And keep in mind, LeBron's probably going to play several more years anyway. So LeBron will still be in the league when Bronny gets there.
Yeah, he's playing until he's 45. So
yeah,
Dame loves it, but I guess there's a difference here with let's take Steph Curry versus Dame. Steph has rings, and even when he gets targeted, there's more effort from Steph on defense than there is from Dame, and that's just Steph knows how to play within a good defensive system and not just get totally torched, and Dame doesn't. So, and I did like
Dame,
this.
I don't think Dame is going to retire without having a ring. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, this Milwaukee thing, like a lot has to improve. Yeah. So, and I just don't know that they're going to be good enough. I thought they had it. I thought it was a great trade. And the Milwaukee Bucks podcast I was listening to, they would still do that trade, but you have to have more consistency from Dame. I did like this comment on the fan makes contact with players should be arrested. Yeah, I agree with that. With as far as the court storming and everything like that. So totally agree.
I agree.
Real quick look at Bama basketball, Rod, before we jump into the questions of death. What do we rank it? 14 or 13, depending where you're at. What's up?
Yeah, no, go ahead. I was just answering your question. I think Bama we're at 19-8. We had a tough loss. We got beat down by Kentucky.
That was a Raj loss.
We got beat down by Kentucky this past Saturday at Rupp Arena. It was, there wasn't a lot of.
Did you go put up your Valentine's decorations while the game was on?
Well, it was after Valentine's Day. I don't know what I
did. Exactly. That's when you put them back up.
There wasn't a lot of defense played in that game. It was 117-95. That's a college score.
How do you get smoked and score 95 points? That's
what I was trying to figure out. And that's why I said there's not a lot of defense played. Kentucky shot the ball extremely well, but we did all right, but we just played worse defense than they did. So we have a game tomorrow. I think we play Ole Miss. I think we play at Ole Miss tomorrow.
Yep.
At Ole Miss. Both teams, I think, are 19-8. So we really need this win. I think
which is weird because we're firmly in the field and Ole Miss isn't.
Yeah.
So
right. I think we're either 3 or 4 in the bracketology in the South or whatever division we're in. But
right. And Ole Miss is one of the last teams in right now.
Yep. So I think what helped us was our win against Auburn. That really, really helped us because Auburn was ranked a little higher than us when we beat them.
Right. Florida also helped as well, believe it or not.
That too.
So, and then we host Tennessee this weekend, so that should be interesting.
Oh yeah.
So, he's like several more years. Yeah, I think LeBron's just gonna keep hanging on.
Listen, LeBron's averaging 24, 25 a game now. I would say 43, 44 to be honest with you, and he's 39. I'll give him a couple more years in the league.
43 or 44 more years, or 43 or 44 of age.
And so he's age-wise. Oh gosh, why did I even answer that?
I don't know either. So yeah, and that's what I think Mike said on it. Yep, change the schedule really helps. Yep. All right, Raj. The questions of death. We're gonna do it a little bit different this time, so that's why you got a little bit more time for it. We're gonna get your football profile. This is all considered one question. Okay, your football profile. All right.
Yeah.
You're going to a game. Would you rather go to?
Hold on, right quick. What's up, LeBron? Yeah, we just got finished talking about you. All right, man. I'm gonna hit you up. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you up when I'm in LA this weekend. All right, my boy. Go ahead, Urban. Sorry.
All right, my boy.
That's how we talk.
All right, my boy. Okay. Are you guys done? Are we good now? Can we?
I'm good.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
LeBron has your cell phone number, but the podcast isn't famous. I'm just mad at both of you right now. Just to let you know. Okay.
You'll be okay. You'll survive.
Yeah. Football profile. All right. Would you rather go to a game 100 degrees or 20 degrees?
We did in Austin.
Yeah.
I am not a fan of cold weather, so I'm going to go with 100 degrees. I can
100
deal
degrees
with that.
where you're sweating and almost passing out.
Yeah, the 20 degrees, I would just be so miserable.
And these are all college football questions, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Your official answer: would you rather, if you went to the game, see your team lose in a blowout or a close game? You're at the game, though.
If I'm at the game, I would probably rather see it. If I'm at the game and it's 100 degrees, I'd rather see us lose on a last-second field goal. Because if you're out there and it's 100 degrees and your team's getting blown out, that's just a long, slow, miserable day for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Prefer offense or defense?
Offense.
So would you rather see a game, your team loses, right? Would you rather lose the game 10-7 or 52-49?
52-49, because that actually happened. Yeah.
And by the way, you've already got something.
With
You got two 20-degreers out here.
I couldn't. I can't. I don't like the 20 degrees. This is too cold. Sorry.
I agree with this one. At the game, close loss, definitely. If I'm going to it, so which is interesting. We watched the Super Bowl with a gentleman, and he was just rooting for defense. He wasn't rooting for either team. He just wanted to see more defense. Okay, so 10-7. All right. Favorite offensive position?
If
you say guard, no, this is your favorite position. The players you're more likely to root for, maybe the team wide receiver. I was waiting for you to say guard or tackle.
No.
Favorite defensive position?
I like safety.
Okay.
Yep.
What from the Nick Saban era was the worst loss that you saw? Like the loss that still sticks with you, the one that hurts the most?
During the Nick Saban era. Oh gosh, I hate to bring this one up. One that still sticks to me is the kick six.
Gosh.
That was a hard loss because my best friend Carlton Avery is a huge Auburn fan, and I was actually living. You're my brother, and I was actually living here in Fort Worth, Texas. I live in Arlington now, but I was in Fort Worth, Texas. Didn't know a lot of people out here. Watched the game, and my phone was blowing up immediately after that happened. I don't think Carlton and I talked for several hours. I finally called him back and said, like, what? He's laughing. I got another call from another couple guys from Montgomery. They're blowing up my phone.
Are you reading these comments?
That was horrible. Yeah, I did. Oh, wow.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. I'm glad I didn't know any Auburn people because that would have hurt. All right.
Yeah.
Favorite win?
Favorite win might be. It's almost a tie. The 2009 national championship and 2nd and 26. The reason I say the 2009 national championship because that's the thing that kind of got the dynasty started, so to speak. 2nd and 26 because that was like our big introduction into Tua. And there were points in that game when I was like, I don't know if we're going to win because that first half was so bad and Jalen wasn't really igniting our offense. So to see where we were to start the game, to see where we ended up.
Yep.
And I don't know if you remember, but after the game, I told you this several times. I think I was up to like 3 a.m. because I was so ecstatic, so happy. You and I talked for a while, and then we started watching all the replays the next day, and we still watch the replays to this day. So It's kind of those two as a tie.
So, and you have running back, by the way, and D-line as far as 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm not going to post the other comments, but they did make me smile as far as why
I read
people are cold. All right, and lastly, if you could only go to one Bama game next year, which game would you want it to be?
The Georgia game in Tuscaloosa.
Yep. See, if you were a smart Bama fan, you would have said the national championship.
Well, I didn't know that was an option. I thought it was just regular
season. I'm just saying that's the way to game the system. All right, you ready? We can do a little work, play, live. Okay.
And I think the national championship is in Atlanta next year, isn't it? Mercedes?
Well, then I'm going to the game no matter who's in it. All right. You ready? Work, play, live, right? Okay. LeBron in Cleveland, LeBron in Miami, LeBron in LA.
All right, LeBron in Cleveland. Are we saying the first 8 years, or then when he came back?
The first 8.
Okay, so you said LeBron in Cleveland, LeBron in Miami, LeBron in LA.
LA, yep.
I'm gonna work with LeBron in LA. He's a little older, more settled down, more chill. I'm going to party and hang out with LeBron first year in Cleveland. He was younger, ready to go out and hang out, even though Savannah was tying him down still. We can still hang out a little bit. And I'm going to live with LeBron in Miami. I just think that would be a cool little scenario there.
You ready to leave Texas for Miami? I mean, for LA?
I don't know. I don't know. I kind of like it here.
Okay.
That's a good point. I kind of like it here, Texas.
All right. We're going to make the Raj playoffs. Okay.
Okay.
You have to pick top 8 playoff teams. Okay. So you got to pick one from each of the power conferences. You got to pick at least one wild card, one non-power 5, and then you get 3 other teams, right? Of teams, not necessarily what would be the best teams, but the teams that you would like to watch play in a playoff. Only caveat, you cannot choose Alabama or Georgia for this playoff.
So what are we doing here?
Just teams that you can just watch and just enjoy and just sit back and say, okay, this is fun.
So do you want the matchup?
I think if this is in Atlanta, the only way I couldn't go is if Georgia makes a national championship game. Because I can't
Georgia
go
made
face all the Georgia fans, and I'm wearing my Alabama gear. That would just get ugly. So, but I would like to go see the national championship game. So
that would be a heck of an experience. I agree.
Yep. So give me your 8 teams, Raj, the fun playoffs, the ones that are going to bring in the ratings.
Colorado. Do you want the games or just the teams?
Just the teams. Give me the teams.
Okay. Colorado.
So that's your Big 12.
I think Oregon, if Dylan Gabriel has a good season, I think Oregon would. No, I'm sorry, Ohio State. They're bringing the people. Colorado is Big 12, so I got Big 12, Big 10, SEC. I can't pick Alabama, Georgia, Texas. ACC. I don't know about Florida State's quarterback play. I know they got DJU to transfer over there, but he's no Jordan Travis. But they still might bring in the ratings because of what happened to him this year. So I'm going to pick ACC, Florida State.
Okay.
Independent, I guess I'll just pick Notre Dame. What conference am I? Big 10, Big 12. Big 10, Big 12, ACC, SEC.
And you got a wild card. So now you have 3 wild cards you can pick from anywhere.
All right, cool. Ole Miss.
Okay.
I already said Colorado, right? Yeah, I said Colorado first.
Yep.
Ole Miss, Oregon, and Appalachian State.
Oh my gosh, this man just said whatever, huh? Okay. Nice.
Just for entertainment purposes, Appalachian State.
Nice.
Excuse me.
All right. Raj, appreciate you as always. Another good show. You have a week to dust off your don't know if we'll have a debate next week, but if we do, you can dust off your skills and kind of get pumped up and get ready for it.
It's not gonna help. Yeah.
Thank you everybody for listening. We'll end with Mike. You get the last comment of the day. Colorado, Oregon, Ole Miss, Miami, Ohio State, Texas, North.
Oh, Miami would be a good pick. The U, bringing the U back. I don't know when the U will ever be back, but
yeah. Well, they'll be back for Mike's playoffs, so we're down. So
yeah.
Appreciate you guys as always. You all make the show, so we love it. Raj, you're the greatest brother the world has ever known.
You're the greatest brother ever too, man. I love you, Herb.
Well, there you go. There's a night, y'all. Roll Tide. Roll Tide, everybody. Have a great night.
Have a good one.